So, hello, our viewers. Welcome back. This is the final part, the grand finale of our ongoing series on the age, the past, the present, and the future of Muslims and, of course, other communities that live across the world. Dr. Akbar S Ahmed, a foremost scholar and a professor, a former diplomat, a filmmaker, a writer, a thinker, has been walking us through this journey over centuries. We've talked about the issues that Muslims have faced in the Western societies, their past, the golden and not so golden one, and how the Muslim civilizations rose and declined over the past centuries. This is our final episode, and here, because throughout our discussions, this term of interfaith harmony, interfaith understanding, interfaith exchange, these terms cropped up all the time. And of course, we read about them. But I should let our viewers know that Dr. Akbar S Ahmed is not just a man who indulges in theory, but he actually is a practitioner of this particular idea of seeking interfaith harmony and cooperation. So, Dr. Ahmed, thank you for being with me again. Let's start by with your thoughts on what is interfaith harmony or exchange. How do we achieve it? And then you can go on with some examples, and then we'll conclude with another question that I have. But please, over to you.
Thank you so much, Raza, and thank you for allowing me to comment on this aspect of relations between people, because it'll be good to end on a positive, uplifting note. For me, interfaith is driven by my understanding of my faith and my religion and my culture. When the Prophet of Islam, peace be upon him, reaches out, and there's a letter extant at St. Catherine's Monastery today, in which the Prophet is writing to the Christian priests, and it's clear-cut. He says that no Christian priest in my territory will be molested, his family, his church, his goods, or his life. That it guarantees interfaith presence and interfaith respect for cultures. And you have many examples like this. When the Muslims are persecuted, he sends them to Abyssinia, where they are then welcomed and allowed to live with dignity. Many examples. Immediately after him, you have Hazrat Umar. Hazrat Umar's arrival in Jerusalem is well worth studying. First of all, he asked, where is the temple, the famous Temple of Solomon? And he's told by the bishop he can't find it, because they've been using Romans have been using the temple as a garbage dump. And Hazrat Umar is shocked, and he asks for literally a bucket and an instrument, so that he starts digging out the garbage to clean it. That's his attitude to other faiths. Remember, that's the Temple of Solomon. Similarly, when the bishop arranges a prayer site for him in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the holiest place in Christianity, Hazrat Umar says, no, I do not want to pray here, because if I pray here, then Muslims will say later on that this is a place where the Khalif prayed, and therefore we want to make it a mosque. So he said, I want a completely new place to pray in. And of course, the bishop arranged for him to pray outside the church, and that is now a mosque even today. That is why the Prophet was called a mercy unto mankind. It's a very important point I'm making. The Islamic vision is of Rabb al-Alameen, that God of the universes. So by definition, we have to reach out. It's not that I or you want this. This is by definition. And there's great sense to it. So when I look at our part of the world, South Asia, and I've been to this site many times, very inspiring, and I'm talking about Ajmer, Khwaja Gharibun Nawaz. You go there and you see Hindus and Sikhs and Christians and Muslims and atheists and every kind of human being. And I've really gone and studied and written and filmed that, a very inspiring site. And again, I think of it, this is where Islam is bringing people together in the notion of Sulh Kul, peace with all. And I was very pleased to see a similar action in Pakistan with Kartarpur and this beautiful temple of the Sikhs. As we know, the founder, Guru Nanak, the great founder of the Sikh religion, was born and died in Pakistan. And this temple allows the Sikhs to pay homage to their great founder. A beautiful gesture, and of course, with that, we established that this is yet another religion, great religion of Pakistan, which we must embrace and love. And then my own experiences in Selman College in Cambridge, where I was asked to give an evensong in chapel, where in the synagogue in St. John's Wood, where I was asked to give the first ever Muslim giving this talk, the Rabbi Goldstein annual memorial lecture, which drew a huge crowd, is very controversial, discussed in The Guardian, on BBC, and we had a huge crowd outside, people protesting because they said a Muslim can't come to a synagogue, and Muslims protesting that Muslims should not go to a synagogue. And I purposely took along a prominent imam. I took along the first member of the House of Lords. He had just become a member, so that we had a very heavyweight representation. And Raza, they were all very moved by the way we were received. There's a very warm reception, a standing ovation. And I was just reaching out. I said, we have to have bridges being built and not the situation that existed, not knowing that the situation may even get far worse. So we have had these experiences, as you said, practical. And I'm driven by a vision of a universal humanity. Sometimes I may get disappointed. Sometimes the bridge may be blown up, but I don't give up. I just carry on. And I'm inspired, especially by the people I'm in partnership with, the bishops, the rabbis, the chief rabbis, the archbishops, and their spirit of genuine spirituality, which inspires me, and a lot of the younger generation I'm working with. So thank you so much, Raza, for this opportunity. And I really am very grateful that you've given me this time. I know how busy you are, and I know what important work you're doing to be able to spend time talking to a scholar, an obscure scholar sitting on a university campus.
Dr. Ahmed, I'm so grateful for your time, and I hope we resume this in a few months on a totally different subject. And but for now, we will let our viewers give us comments, and maybe there'll be questions, and perhaps we'll have you once more to answer some of those questions as and when they come to us. With that, goodbye, viewers, and I hope you've enjoyed our series. At least thank Dr. Akbar S Ahmed for me and from our team for his patience and his steadfast appearance almost every day for so many weeks. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you, Raza. Thank you.